From the assassination of Rudolf Hess to the death of Robert Maxwell, conspiracy theories are everywhere, but rarely scrutinized. For the first time, Conspiracies on Trial is exposing the world's most enduring conspiracy theories to a battery of scientific tests. In this episode, we analyze the biggest conspiracy theory of the lot, that the past 2,000 years of Western history have been based on a lie, the Da Vinci Code. From New York to New Delhi, one book has the whole world talking. The Da Vinci Code, 15 million copies translated into 30 languages and rising by the day. It's a global phenomenon, and it's taken the biggest conspiracy theory of them all and sold it to an eager public. The theory's basic claim is extraordinary, that Jesus Christ, far from being the celibate and divine Messiah learned about in church, was in fact all too human. In the face of everything the Bible says, he had a child. Even more shocking, that child's mother was none other than the woman so derided by the disciples, Mary Magdalene, a prostitute. If the theories were to end there, it would be enough to rewrite history. But this is just the beginning. From this child, Christ's descendants have survived throughout history, a royal bloodline that can be traced down the centuries and which continues to this day. A bloodline that is the true nature of the Holy Grail, usually and mistakenly identified as the cup that held Christ's blood. Of course, any proof of this bloodline would drastically undermine the idea of Christ's divinity and plunge the Christian church into crisis. So when in the 11th century a group of warrior monks called the Knights Templar discovered documents that prove the existence of the Grail, the Catholic Church acted quickly, rounded them up and had them executed to a man. The bloodline was forced underground, the Grail hidden. The documents the Templars had discovered, however, did not disappear with them. It is claimed that they were hidden in France, protected by a secret society called the Priory of Sion, whose grandmasters include some of history's greatest figures, Sir Isaac Newton, Claude Debussy, and Leonardo da Vinci. It is shocking stuff, and many want to believe it. But is it true? Conspiracies on Trial will now answer that question once and for all. Historical and art historical analysis, biblical exegesis, symbology, genealogy, even cryptography will be used to test the four main premises of the theory. Did Jesus Christ have a child with Mary Magdalene? Did Leonardo encode this secret in his paintings? Do Christ's descendants walk among us? And does the Holy Grail exist? It's time to reveal the facts behind the fiction. Time to crack the code. The first claim is that Leonardo da Vinci, as Grand Master of the Priory of Sion, placed hidden messages in his paintings, which when decoded reveal the existence of the Holy Grail, Christ's bloodline. Most importantly, that in the Last Supper, Da Vinci placed Mary Magdalene at the right-hand side of Christ, indicating that Jesus and Mary were married. The clues are there if only you look, says the book. The figure is clearly feminine. Moreover, Leonardo has cleverly worked two letters into the composition that attest to the figure's true identity, an M for Magdalene and a V, an ancient symbol representing the feminine. Art historian Sister Wendy Beckett, however, is skeptical.
There were only 12 disciples and Jesus at the Last Supper. Put in a 13th, Mary Magdalene, and where does St. John go? Missing. Well, he obviously isn't missing. There he is. In all his youthful beauty, John was always shown as a willowy young man. There's this extraordinary idea that V, let alone a possible M, has something to do with Mary Magdalene. Of course it hasn't. V's come when people lean. Look at the other side. There you have Philip and Matthew. And there's even a teeny little V between Matthew and Thaddeus.
The fresco of the Last Supper is almost 500 years old and badly damaged, so it's hard to tell now if this figure is a man or a woman. However, when first unveiled, the identity of the figures would have been clear for all to see. If Leonardo had put Mary Magdalene in the scene, he would almost certainly have been excommunicated, a punishment he never received. Yet the claims don't end with the Last Supper. When painting the Mona Lisa, Leonardo apparently created a fusion of the masculine and the feminine, pointing to the union of Jesus and Mary. It is claimed that the differing landscape levels on either side of the sitter suggest the two sexes, that the face of Mona Lisa is a composite of male and female, and that Leonardo gave the picture a title which was a clever anagram of male god Ammon and female goddess Isis.
Actually, paintings didn't have titles in the Renaissance. The first reference we have to this painting is a certain Florentine lady. And although it was quickly acknowledged that it is actually Lisa del Giocondo, it's quite a long time before that was simplified to Mona Lisa. So you can't get Ammon and Isis out of that. It just doesn't exist. I think Brown is right in that male and female are perfectly balanced here, simply because Lisa herself is so balanced. The male element that's in every woman is completely fused with the female element that's in every woman. We know practically everything that Leonardo painted, very few paintings, lots and lots of drawings, and there isn't a blasphemy among them. Leonardo was a serious thinker, an intellectual. He was never with the fairies.
Sister Wendy, a widely respected expert on Renaissance art, does not believe that there are any clues at all encoded within Leonardo's paintings. But the problem with art analysis is that its conclusions are subjective. For this reason only, the first claim must remain unproven. The conspiracy theorist's second claim is a much more explosive allegation, that Christ was married and that the early church covered this fact up in an effort to promote Christ's divinity by denying his humanity. As part of this cover-up, the church edited the Gospels, the first century account of Christ's life, removing any references to his marriage or offspring. The claim is that despite their efforts, if you examine the Gospels closely enough, small details, traces of the truth can still be spotted. One episode